James Creedon now with truth or fake. Truthing or faking, that is the question. You're starting with the story of a sniper in Ukraine, reportedly killed. But our journalists have managed to speak to him, not via a seance, but actually on an old school telephone, yeah?
That's it. So he is alive, contrary to reports that he had been killed. So the backstory here is it's a guy who goes by the name of Wali, that's a pseudonym, formerly an elite sniper for the Canadian Army, and he has written a book. He's been in Afghanistan. He has a certain notoriety for being a pretty remarkable and skilled sniper, and there were reports that he had gone to Mariupol and in a voluntary capacity to fight the Russian armed forces, with claims that he was going to do his utmost to kill Russian soldiers. In any case, it was reported, first of all, in Chinese media via Russian sources and elsewhere that he had actually died. So it came out first in Chinese media, and then it sort of spread around the internet. And there were requests by some internet users asking France 24 and the observers if they knew if this was true or not, that he had been killed by Russian special forces within 20 minutes of arrival. In any case, he spoke to Alexandre Capron, one of our journalists at the Observer's desk, and said, look, when I turned my phone on, I had scores upon scores upon scores of messages, asking me if I was all right, because it had been reported all over the internet that he was in fact dead. In any case, it leads to some. Let's take a listen to one extract here, speaking to Canadian media, this time in English.
The reason, because the frequency and such can be located, and so well, I'm alive. That's what I'm saying. And I pretty much was the last person to learn about my death.
Anyway, so it led to headlines such as this one: "I'm alive, former Canadian Forces sniper debunks rumours of his own death in Ukraine." His speculation in his conversation with Alexandre Capon is that this was perhaps to dissuade other voluntary fighters from going into Ukraine, the fact that this fake news was spread around various media.
And it comes from who? It comes directly from Russia?
It originally originated on VK, one of the Russian social media, and then migrated to Chinese media before going all over the web.
Because Russia are really targeting Africa at the moment to try to sort of spread the word there in some ways,
Yes.
and the way of kind of like a sort of a kind of an underbelly soft power kind of way of trying to influence people there.
That's right. Another example of information warfare, essentially.
So, you now have a video of a Russian army choir apparently being arrested for singing an anti-war song.
That's right. We mentioned this one yesterday, and here is the video. Let's take a look at the scene, and then we can discuss. All right, so that's a pretty dramatic scene, and what you can see there is what appear to be Russian army choir members singing, and then this rather dramatic scene where they appear to be arrested. Now, that was, if you do a reverse image search on a screenshot, the usual kind of kit of tools, it brings you back to reports going back to 2015. This was in a mall in Russia, and it appears that they were singing a song from the James Bond film, a James Bond film released in 2015. And so, why were they arrested? You can speculate that maybe the Russian authorities don't like their own army choir singing James Bond songs, or indeed, it was also speculated that could have been a publicity stunt for Spectre, that James Bond film in 2015, as it was released. It could just have been a publicity stunt, but this was being associated with current events in several shares on Facebook and elsewhere, this being one example, an attempt to strike up a positive anti-war song, which led to arrests. Now, we know that expressing anti-war sentiment has seen a lot of clampdowns in Russia, so in that context, scenes such as that, even if they're completely out of context and unfactual, could be believable.
James Bond 007. You know 007 is the dialing code for Russia.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from, 007. Yeah, shaken but not stirred. James Creedon. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks.
James
Thanks, Mark.
Creedon there with Truth or Fake. Thanks.